Sam Logue here for irishboxing.com. Delighted to be joined by Paul Ryan on fight day, Paul, which is a little bit let's have it straight. It's a little bit peculiar, but thank you very much for obliging me. I do appreciate it. Between us, we probably not the two most organized lads in the world, but we got there in the end.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Sam.
No
like
problem.
that, just disaster, just long finger job and then forget all about it, but we're getting it done.
100%, we're getting it done, man. So come here, it's fight day. Before we get into like opponents or anything, what are the feelings like on fight day? You wake up, you're 3-0 going into your fourth professional bout. Are you super chilled about everything? Do you start to get a bit nervous? How do you feel when you wake up on fight day?
No, I'm super chill. Like last night, I think I slept for about nearly 11 hours last night, so no nerves at all, straight through. It just feels natural, now at this stage. Like it's just normal. I enjoy the whole process, the waiting around. And I'm learning better. I'm learning how to do that better, I'm learning how to not overanalyze the fight, not think too much into it and just go with the flow. So it's an enjoyable process.
Class. And is a big part of that kind of focusing on yourself, like focusing on what you do, even when we're talking about in the ring now as well. Like if the focus is on you and what you bring to the table, then you don't need to actually stress or worry about the other guy because you're totally focused on yourself. Is that a big part of that kind of mentality?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'll rarely watch my opponents. I'll rarely watch footage on them. When we confirm an opponent, I'll have a little skim through. But other than that, I don't worry about it. Because I know that once I do what I do, as good as I can do it, that nothing will get in my way.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that also to do with kind of having trust in your team to match your fights correctly at this stage of your career. So you know that, okay, this guy is around a certain level. If I focus on myself, then what I do is going to be good enough to get the job done. In any case, is that part of it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'd fight anyone. I never made any bones about that. But I know that from the management side, they look at everything. So they'll see what I need to work on, or they'll see what I need to face in the ring, and then they'll put that in front of me.
Yeah.
But like that, I'll let the management talk with Pete. Pete will look at opponents. If he gives the go ahead, then I trust it, and I'd go into the fight without looking at all at them.
Yeah, that's unreal. That's it. It's so important. It's one of the big things, isn't it? Like having kind of trust in your team to be guiding you at the right. Because you do see it sometimes, like guys get, because all boxers have that mentality of I'll fight anyone, but then sometimes it is just a step too far, isn't it? And then all of a sudden you get caught wanting. So it's important to be able to trust your team to match you correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially, when you turn in a few good performances and there's a bit of hype, people want to see you get pushed on a bit. Yeah. And, fighters have a bit of an ego, and like myself, I want to get that push and I want to fight people and get pushed on, but then it's up to my team to put my feet on the ground and put the right opponents in front of me.
Yeah, definitely. And as you we touch on that, yeah, where do you see yourself going now? I mean, look, I don't want to talk too much about the future because I know you are fighting tonight, but all going well, you win tonight, which we fully expect you to do. You'll be 4-0, but you've already kind of started out at a fairly decent level. Like the lads I've seen you box there, you know what I mean? They were good. There's worse journeymen, let's put it that way. Guys who are not engaging at all and not really there for anything. So are you looking to and you've impressed so far in your first 3 fights, so are you looking to kind of push up the levels now pretty quickly? Like, how do you see it even just from your own feelings? What would you like to do?
Yeah, well, first of all, like job number 1 is to win tonight. That's the first thing on my mind, the last thing on my mind. After that, it's just activity, like you touched on there. Opponent was, I don't think I've been in with any real journeyman, just coming to show up, make a few bob and go home.
Yeah.
Like every person I've been in have either been coming off wins, had good records, stuff like that. So they've all came to win. They've all put in proper training camps and stuff like that. So I'd like to keep that level and no real back steps and keep pushing on. But activity this year is going to be key. So hopefully, including this one, 3 more, finish the year with 5 fights. That would be great. Push on then to 8 rounds. But ultimately, I'm just going to get in and box, let MTK and let Pete worry about the progression stage.
Yeah.
But like I said, tonight is number 1.
For sure. One thing that you have been able to do, which a lot of guys haven't throughout the pandemic as well, is actually stay relatively active. I mean, you kind of turned pro you had your pro debut during the pandemic, and you were able to have you've had your 3 fights inside 2021 and 2022. So yeah, that seems to be something that you've managed to conquer. Is that just down to the management team, or?
Yeah, no, it's down to MTK doing what MTK do and offering giving me opportunities and keeping me busy. But then I stay ready all the time. I'm in the gym. I don't do training camps. I do 2 a day, 6 days a week, all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm never out. So like that, this fight and the fight before that, I got. So the fight before this one, I got 10 days notice. This fight, I got just under 3 weeks notice. But that's down to just staying fresh and staying in the gym.
Class. So what kind of levels would we like to be jumping up to? So say Irish level, for example, would you like to be fighting for, say, an Irish title within the next, say, by the end of the year or by the start of next year?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the natural progression anyway. So if that comes, we'll go for that. Irish level, then like even English level, I'm ready for that. Like I said it before, I'm ready for European level. If you ask me, I'd go straight for that. But whatever MTK bring me, you know. So if they say we're gonna go Irish, we're gonna go the Irish route, we'll go the Irish route. I'm happy to do it once I get the fight.
Is that something that interests you, kind of like fighting at home, like all Irish clashes? We see more of it now. It's starting to become a bit more of a regular thing, I think, in Ireland. Well, when we can get fight nights on in Ireland, the lads seem to be way more up for kind of fighting each other. Is that like, would you like to have a good Irish dust up with a fellow countryman?
Yeah, absolutely. If it came, why not? You know, big card up in Belfast on the Fail or something like that would be great. It's all about making big nights, big moments for people. And myself, that's what I'm in it for: big nights, big experiences, and then racking up belts.
Yeah. So in terms of fighting tonight, I think, did you weigh in around 157 odd? Was it?
Yeah, the fight was agreed on. The fight was agreed on 158 pounds. So I came in 157. I make that fairly all right.
Yeah.
Like I don't struggle at the weight. Like I said, I'm always ready. No more than 10 pounds over really. My opponent came in a bit heavy, but short notice, so we weren't going to make any bones about it.
Yeah. Are you looking to campaign at super welterweight in general?
Yeah, I'll do super. Yeah, I think super welterweight would be good. Like I'm only 23 now, so I have a few years. I'll grow into it. No point doing crazy weight cuts now at this stage in the career. So yeah, we'll keep super welterweight, push on. It's an exciting division with a lot happening, so I think it could make for good nights for me.
Yeah, 100%. And even like the guys who were knocking around the Irish fight, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, Irish division. I mean, the likes of Dennis Hogan, Spike O'Sullivan, Kevin Ajarko has just moved down apparently to a 54, and then you've got like Kieran Malloy, Brett McGinty. Like, there's a lot of good names there. Are those the kind of names that some of them will be at towards the back end, like the likes of your Spikes and that? But you know, some of them young guys might be there for you in the next few years. Does that excite you when you hear those names in your weight division?
Absolutely. It's exciting times. You know, the more talent in the weight, the more eyes on the weight, the more excitement. Then the bigger the nights can be. So yeah, the more the better. You know, with everyone turning over, whatever paths they go on, but it could turn out to make some really big domestic fights down the line.
100%. So you're fighting Gabor Gorbich tonight. He has a bit of a mixed record, doesn't he? He's kind of like 26 and 25 with 2 draws. So he's got plenty of losses, but he's also got plenty of wins. So he's kind of coming with a lot of experience, a lot of ability. If he sees his opportunities, you'd like to think he will be trying to take them. What do you expect from him? And yeah, kind of how do you expect the fight to play out?
Yeah, he's super experienced and he's been in with some good names. I think out of all them fights, he's been stopped like 7 times. So he'll be crafty and durable. He's been in with some big names. Like I think he was in with Anthony Fowler. He was in with Spike, Liam Williams as well. So it'll be a good marking stone, a good type of gauge to see where we're at. So we'll go in and box how we box and see what happens. But full confidence in my skill and the game plan that Pete will put ahead for me.
Brilliant. Excellent stuff. Last thing I will ask you about is the gym has been kind of buzzing, hasn't it, over the last couple of months? A lot of big profile. I mean, obviously Gary had a brilliant win in Nottingham. Tyrone was unfortunate in a very difficult fight against Regis Prograis to come out on the wrong end of it. But the buzz leading up to these fights and in that period of time must have been something that kind of inspired you and drove you on. Can you talk to me about kind of that feeling in the gym with such big names in such big fights and how that kind of helps you?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they're doing what you get into boxing to do, you know. Gary had his big come out fight. Tyrone boxed arguably the best lightweight in the world on his day. So that's the level that you want to be touching. So when you're seeing them, all you can do, like, you're getting the chance to jump in on world championship training camps, basically, you know. all you can do is absorb it. Like that saying, iron sharpens iron, you know. So when you're around that talent and that profile, it just pushes you on. You're seeing that it is possible, that you can get to them levels and you can excel at it.
Yeah, 100%. How much is Pete Taylor to answer for all the success in the gym and all the lads kind of, performing?
Yeah, he's everything. He's the mastermind behind it. He, from the first session I'd done with him nearly a year ago now, like, it's night and day where I've came from, and everything he does, not just the technical aspect, like, he's really brought a lot of confidence into me. He's shown me what I can do, and he's really helped me grow as a fighter, and he's done that with all the lads. Like, yeah, just all you have to do is look at the track record of what he's producing.
Yeah.
Tommy, Tyrone, Gary, Sean McComb now as well. Like, it's just champion after champion, and it's down to Pete, what he can do. He's the best coach I've ever worked with.
Class. That's it's a lovely words there. And as you said, the results speak for themselves, and the fighters only speak highly of him, and that's obviously for a reason. Look, I'll leave it there. Well, actually, do you know what? Tommy McCarthy fights tomorrow night as well. You're kind of leading the charge for the gym tonight, and then Tommy's in tomorrow, Paul. So what do you expect from Big Tommy tomorrow?
No, Tommy's going to right the wrongs that happened in the last fight. Tommy on his day is probably the best cruiserweight technically in the world. So I think the graft Tommy's been doing, he knows what he has to do, what he didn't do in the last. So he's going to change that now. He'll take it in his own hands, and I don't see it being close at all. We
look forward to watching it, as we do your fight tonight, Paul. Best of luck. I'm going to get this interview up now in the next hour or so we'll get as many people viewing it as we can. Pierce, or did you hear me, Pierce? I just talked to Pierce earlier there a few minutes ago. Paul, thank you so much for talking to IrishBoxing.com. Really appreciate it. And best of luck tonight. Yeah, we talk again soon.
Thank you. And thanks for the platform you give. Thank you.
No worries, but thank you, mate.